What is up, action fans? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason. You're watching Backtrack Cinema. Welcome to my video of my top 10 action movie stars of all time. I'm really excited about this one, guys. Y'all know I love my action movies, guys. Now, this isn't the right list. This is just me giving shout outs to the action stars who I think just made me fall in love with fisticuffs and explosions and stunts and all the stuff that we love and come to action films about. So the criteria was, just their aura, their personality, how good of an action star they were, how much I love their movies, the rewatchability of their movies, the things they're doing in their movies. You know what I mean? That's kind of what really combines everything for what an action movie star is to me, right? How often I marathon these guys. And this will just be a male list. I'll probably put out a female action hero list in the future at some point, but this is just male action stars on this one. And it gutted me leaving some people off this list. Gutted me. That's why it's a top 10. And this is for action for autism, guys. So please, I'll put the link in the description of the fundraiser link where you can go donate for Autism Ontario. They would really appreciate it. I'd appreciate it. So we're going right to September 19th on this one. So just quickly with that, guys. And yeah, let's just get into our top 10. So coming at number 10 is Tom Cruise. All right, we got the Cruiser coming at number 10. And honestly, I'll be really honest with you. He wasn't initially on my top 10. He would be very close, but he wasn't initially there. And I just couldn't deny the fact that this guy has made such an impact on the action genre as a whole. But for the last decade, for sure. You know what I mean? With all these Mission Impossible movies, you take Mission Impossible 3 and on, he's just killing it. Then you get films that I love, like Collateral. Edge of Tomorrow is a really underrated one. I love that. The Jack Reacher films are fine. I haven't revisited those in a while, but Maverick, I think, was better than Top Gun. I thought that was a phenomenal movie. So he's made his place into this top 10. I'm not the biggest Tom Cruise fan, but he can really act, and you got to give him credit for all the stunts he's done in these action movies. I mean, the man may be only 5'7", but his stunt work and all those Mission Impossible movies and whatever else he's done where he's actually doing his own stunts. I mean, he's putting his life on the line. He makes all these films look really believable. And I'm not really sold on his whole persona and aura and everything like that. I like more, like I said, an old school kind of tough guy. But he plays into more of that modern action hero, the espionage action hero, kind of like that, something like a Bond, I guess you could say. But he has that confidence you need in your action hero, and he definitely does that, and he runs like the wind, no doubt. But Tom Cruise definitely has to be here. I just been loving the Mission Impossible movies and everything he's done, I'd say, in the last decade at least. Coming at number 9 is Charles Bronson. Now, I've been a big Charles Bronson fan ever since I was a kid. My uncle introduced me to him with some of those, like I think Death Wish 3 and Murphy's Law and movies like that. He's not overly physical. You're not going to get flying kicks, martial arts, all this kind of stuff. You get some really old fisticuffs with him. You know, his brand of justice is with guns. He's one of the original all handle this kind of action star. He had a face carved of stone, and to look at him and be like, don't mess with me or I'll make you meet your maker kind of feel to this guy. This is where I love the personality. I love the aura of him. To me, that is a tough guy. And, you watch stuff like Once Upon a Time in the West as a harmonica player. I love that movie. I like the Death Wish franchise for the most part. Death Wish 3 is absurd, but it's just completely awesome, that third act where he's just taking out this whole gang. Murphy's Law, I like. Mr. Majestic, The Mechanic, these are all just really old school kind of films. Before really we were talking the action genre, I guess more thriller. Charles Bronson was Hollywood's lone wolf, and he works really well in an ensemble cast like The Great Escape, The Magnificent Seven, all that kind of stuff. So, Charles Bronson's just, I love this guy. Coming at number 8 is Bruce Willis.
This channel is reserved for emergency calls only.
Do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza?
Well, you know he had to be here. I mean, Die Hard is one of the greatest action movies of all time. John McClane's one of the greatest action hero characters of all time, and he really made his stars, his characters feel human. He was the everyman. You get in Die Hard, he's just a regular cop. He's completely outmatched with these terrorists, but he gets the job done. And you just feel a kind of a human connection with most of his characters. And he's got a great resume, right? You get the Die Hard franchise. Die Hard 1, 2, 3 are excellent. Even the fourth one is good. We don't talk about the fifth one. I love The Last Boy Scout. The Fifth Element's good. Looper. He did a whole run of these thrillers, action movies. You could even say in Unbreakable, he's kind of playing this gritty, grounded version of a superhero. So excellent stuff there, and he's just a really good actor. And the fact that he was like almost a comedian first, you saw him in Blind Date, then he went to Die Hard. You needed somebody with that sense of humor and that comedic timing to play someone like John McClane. Going back to Die Hard, right? You knew Bruce Willis was cracking the top 10. I mean, yippee-ki-yay, right? Man, he had to be here. Coming at number 7 is Mel Gibson.
Do you really want to jump? Do you want to? Well, then that's fine with me.
We'll have to ignore all the shenanigans and drama of his personal life, but just remember how epic Mel Gibson really was. Lethal Weapon, that's the buddy cop gold standard. Riggs was wild, unpredictable, lethal, but you couldn't take your eyes off him. And then Braveheart, one of my favorite movies of all time. The action scenes in that are awesome. That speech, I mean, he's a really good actor as well. And I think when you put a really good actor into an action star role like Lethal Weapon, something like Braveheart, all the other stuff he's done, you know what I mean? You just get a really good performance and you get an awesome action star. And a shout out to the Mad Max franchise too. I mean, most action stars typically have 2 or maybe even 3 franchises they're part of. And he's part of the Mad Max franchise and the Lethal Weapon franchise. I mean, Mel is just someone who is so intense, could give you a great performance, and he could also make you cry in the same note. So Mel Gibson's awesome. Coming in at number 6 is Chuck Norris.
Come on, tough guy.
So Chuck Norris is my favorite martial artist of all time. I love this guy. Could a lot of his films have been better? Absolutely yes, but he's become more myth than actual action star now with the Chuck Norris jokes and everything. But behind all that is one hell of a great martial artist who trained with Bruce Lee. Had him and Bruce Lee had absolute 100% respect with each other. And Chuck Norris makes this list not only because of his martial arts. I do love a lot of his films, like Lone Wolf McQuade, Silent Rage. I do like the missing in action movies. He has a ton of stuff that's just full of action and that you could really sink your teeth into if you're an action fan. And I really feel like they got his image down in Lone Wolf McQuade. That's kind of like what I think of when I think of Chuck Norris. This guy just walks and you can feel how tough he is. I mean, this guy is a badass man. I absolutely love Chuck Norris, and he's done some of my favorite fights in action movies. This is not an actor's list. I don't expect him to act great in his movies, but just give me that Chuck Norris persona and him taking out the trash, and I'm sold, man. I love Chuck Norris. Coming in at number 5 is Keanu Reeves.
You working again?
No, just sorting some stuff out.
Oh, well. I'll leave you be then.
Now, this is your really quiet, reserved action hero, it seems like, you know what I mean? Keanu Reeves just has this aura and personality about him. Keanu Reeves is this quiet, focused, relentless. I mean, just look at this guy's films, man. Speed is one of the greatest action films of all time. Point Break is a fan favorite, it seems like. The Matrix, that was just groundbreaking stuff. And then John Wick, at a time when people really wanted something different from their action movies, something like John Wick comes out with the world building and just the work, the dedication he puts into those movies, just like Tom Cruise with his stunts, Keanu Reeves with his gung fu, the way he could handle a gun, the training he went on to do these movies, unbelievable. I mean, those John Wick 1 to 4, they're all really good movies. It's one of the most consistent action movie franchises you'll have. And apparently Keanu Reeves is also one of the nicest guys in Hollywood as well. But, you know, I really do like Keanu Reeves. I didn't think he was going to make it this high until I started revisiting a lot of his old stuff and then the John Wick. And I was like, how could he not, man? This guy is just awesome. He's a badass. Coming at number 4, we got Jason Statham.
Whatever you're thinking, we think it.
Now, Jason is the human embodiment of a pub fight. He came out swinging with the transporter, where he's flipping cars, kicking dudes, and delivering deadpan one-liners at a tux. Since then, he's become the go-to guy for British badass. And that's what I like about Jason. He's got, you know, he's got that British personality. He's got that British aura around him. Him too. He's quiet but relentless. And he does have some charm. He can lay on the comedy too, and he can act given the right role. You watch him in something like Safe and Homefront. He's got some pretty decent acting chops. You can watch him in stuff like The Mechanic, Death Race. You can watch him in the Transporter movies, but he can act when he's given those roles, like the movie. I really suggest watching Safe and Homefront. Those are two of his best. Crank is completely unique. That was an absolutely hilarious action movie, but also a lot of comedy in it. And again, a guy who can really fit into an ensemble like we see in The Expendables or The Italian Job. He just really bounces off other actors really well. Jason Statham is awesome, man. I love this guy. You know, definitely love his look, you know, with the suit, the bald head. He just has an really old school look to him. Coming at number 3 is Clint Eastwood.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Clint Eastwood was doing action movies before we were calling them action movies. The Spaghetti Western trilogy, the Man with No Name trilogy, is just awesome. He's got that quiet toughness, again, kind of like a Charles Bronson, where he can just stare at you and make you just shiver in your boots, man. He's obviously his Westerns are gold standards, but then the Dirty Harry franchise, that is absolutely amazing. I love the Dirty Harry franchise. Very consistent franchise too. They're just a very enjoyable franchise that not enough people really talk about it. It was the framework that Shane Black used for Lethal Weapon was Dirty Harry. You won't find many bad Clint Eastwood movies, man. His filmography is unmatched. If we're just going by films, he knocks them out of the park, man. And the man keeps going even in his later years with Gran Torino, The Mule. He's still that grizzled old gunslinger, but with wisdom and a fistful of justice. Coming at number 2 is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You're one ugly motherfucker.
Arnold didn't just star in action movies. He was the action genre for a decade. The Terminator, Predator, Commando, Total Recall, True Lies, Conan the Barbarian. I mean, pick one. They are all awesome. And T2, if we're thinking objectively here, that may be the greatest action movie ever put on screen. If you actually break it down, critics loved it. Made a ton of money. Has some of the best characters you'll ever see in action movies. The action is unmatched. The effects. The way the movie still holds up, man. I mean, and that has to do with a lot with Arnold, his charisma. This is a guy you build a movie around, right? And he can really carry a movie. Like, he definitely carry a movie by himself, man. He's that good. To me, Arnold Schwarzenegger is one of those guys who's just larger than life. He's very motivated. I mean, he was Mr. Universe how many times? 6 or 7 times or something like that, or I can't remember how many times, but and then he broke into Hollywood with Conan, you know, sculpted his body, and that's what made him this action star. And then he got better and better throughout the years, you know. But there's just something about Arnold that's unmatched with his charisma and his personality, the way he's just a true action movie star. I've listed off so many of his movies. I mean, you just look at his movies and you go, look how many great movies this guy has been in. And like every action star, they have their lows, but Arnold Schwarzenegger's highs are so high that we don't even remember his low point. And finally, coming at number 1, the man, the myth, the legend, and that is Sylvester Stallone. Listen, man, you don't create two of the most iconic characters of all time and not take the top spot. I mean, Rocky and Rambo are two of my favorite movie characters of all time. Rocky and First Blood are my two favorite films of all time. How could he not be here? I just love this guy. Out of everybody on this list, this guy was my true hero growing up and still is today. The way he can just motivate you with his experience and the way he talks, and his how he inspires everyone to get to the gym, because this the how much dedication he put into this genre. And he started out as a dramatic actor. He wasn't always this action hero. That all came with Rambo 2, basically. Like First Blood was more of a thriller. Yes, an action movie, but more of a thriller, a dramatic character study. He did the Rocky movies, they were dramas. He was like a dramatic actor, really. And then, once he did that, he became a larger than life action hero. I mean, Sly gave us the underdog story of Rocky, heart, grit, determination, then turned around and gave us Rambo, a one-man army with true emotional trauma. And when he was done with that, he went and created the Expendables, this love letter to the action franchise with a lot of the great action stars all coming together. And that's just Stallone really giving back to us fans, and how much he just really loves this genre and he knows this genre like no other. You watch something like The Expendables, he knows how to deliver to your typical, action fan from the 80s and 90s. He knows we want the physical fisticuffs. We know we want the gunplay. We want the one-liners. We want the car chases, the explosions. Just really knows how to deliver on that. He's been bleeding, punching, sweating, and shouting his way through the action genre for decades. And he really is the heart and soul of the action genre to me. And that's why he's number one, and that is not changing anytime soon. And I love that he has so much passion for giving people happy endings, giving them the hero. I love that about this guy. In a lot of movies now, they tend to want it to be dark and a dark, depressing ending and everything. Stallone will still give you a happy ending. The hero rising, the hero taking care of you. And I just love that about this guy. He's so inspirational and this motivates you. And how many times do I do a Stallone marathon per year? Of too many times. I love this guy, love his movies. And when we're not talking Rocky or Rambo, we're talking, I love Cobra and Lock Up and Over the Top, the Expendable movies. I think Bullet to the Head is a fine action movie. Nighthawks is so underrated. He's got so many great movies, man. Love Sylvester Stallone. So that is my list, guys. Please let me hear your list in the comments. Do you agree with my list or don't you agree with it? Let's have just a healthy conversation, man. This is just my list. It doesn't mean much at all, but I want to hear yours. And I'd like us to have us a great conversation of why we think who is the best and who's not. And why did you have this here? Let's have a great conversation. I'm looking forward to talking to all of you about this, because I was gutted that I left some people off this list, man. And so I definitely want to hear your guys' list. And if you can, please donate to Action for Autism Fundraiser. The link is in the description, as always. I thank you guys so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, all that jazz. And my name is Jason. You've been watching Backtrack Cinema. I'll see you next time, and I'll see you in the movies. Cheers.